We sleep 8 hours, commute for 1, work 8 hours, and so that leaves us with about 7 hours per day of leisure time. But then, how come we feel constantly exhausted and like everything in our life revolves only around work? Why do we feel as though we're not getting any closer to reaching our goals, even though we have 7 hours a day to pursue them? Why do we accept to lay in bed night after night, knowing we could do more and achieve more, but for some reason, we just don't do it? Now, since it's probably the first time you and I meet, why should you listen to me? My name is Fred, and I went from struggling financially over 5 years ago to making upwards of $1,000 per day with my own consulting business in my early 20s. And in today's video, my goal is to give you actionable tips and a step-by-step action plan so you too can stop wasting your evenings after work and to finally have the time to work on your projects. The first tip I would like to share with you is to do everything in your power to make your life as simple and as easy as possible. So what do I mean exactly? The goal is to optimize every aspect of your life so that you have the most amount of time possible to dedicate to your goals and to your dreams. To give you an example, tasks like cooking or cleaning or doing the laundry, they're not enjoyable, or even admin tasks. No one likes to do those, and they can be pretty time consuming unless you batch them. So that's why that is exactly what I suggest you do. Instead of cooking every single day, you want to meal prep. To give you an example, back when I was cooking myself, I was still making my eggs. Like I would make 5 of them, and then for 5 mornings I would have my eggs. Something I also did is that for 1 to 2 years I was eating the same dinner. Some rice, I would open up a box of mackerel, eat that, and I would have some soup, and then I would maybe eat a fruit. And I ate that for, I'm not kidding, like for 6 months a year for 1 to 2 years. And in the summer I would eat a different dinner. So instead of having a soup, I would have some feta cheese, cucumber, tomato salad, and then I would have just my rice and my mackerel, and then a fruit. But as you can see, it doesn't take hours to prepare. Now when it comes to completing chores like doing the laundry, like cleaning the dishes or whatever, you want to batch these tasks as much as possible. And also what you can do is to set a timer. That way you get it done as quickly as possible and you waste the least amount of time possible on these activities. Now when you start to make more money with your business, ideally you'd want to delegate all of that to hire a cleaner, and if you can, a meal prep delivery service. That way you don't even have to think about cooking or cleaning or any of that. It's all done for you. And doing this, it won't cost you money for sure, but it will save you hundreds of hours over the course of years. And what you have to understand is that in life there's typically 2 types of currencies: time and money. You always either pay with your time or with your money, and it's always better to pay with money because you can, technically speaking, make as much money as you want, especially if you run a business or if you want to start a business, because you can directly dissociate the amount of money that you earn from the amount of hours that you work. But typically as an employee, you can't really do that because your income is directly tied to how many hours you work. So it's a way for big companies all over the world to massively underpay people. But if you don't have much money, at first you need to essentially pay with your time. You need to do the chores yourself, do the dishes yourself, or do everything yourself in your business. That's why I work with mentors personally, because I want to speed up the learning process. I don't mind paying somebody thousands of dollars if I know I'm going to get a return on my investment and they're going to teach me extremely valuable lessons and skills and tactics I will be able to implement to make even more money in my business. So a few years ago, I took a massive risk. I invested thousands of my own dollars into a training program that completely changed my life. It taught me how to sell, how to come up with my offer, and it taught me many other things that I'm still using to this day in my own business. And by now, I've at least gotten a 100x return on my investment. It's insane. And growing up in the lower middle class, it really shocked me how most people, they would prioritize money over time. So for example, I would see my mother spending hours of her time filling out these online surveys just to get free products from the grocery store or like get coupon codes. And when you are in a difficult financial situation, I completely get it. But at the same time, if we do the math, that wasn't an efficient way to make money, because 1 hour at your job would make you more money than completing these surveys anyway. But time is the most precious resource that you have. Yet most people are okay with wasting time, but not with wasting money. Now the next tip I would like to share with you is to not go straight home after work. So the problem is that if you go straight home after work, your brain has associated your home with all of these different behaviors like watching Netflix or laying on the couch and maybe reading or doing whatever it is that you do, but not working on your projects. And that's why you can hear lots of experts telling you to not do your work in the same room that you sleep in. Like if you can't do that, if it's not realistic for you to have another room, then for now that's okay, you have no other option. But if you can, ideally you want to separate your work environment and your leisure environment. That way in your brain it creates 2 different associations. So what you can do instead is to go straight to the gym, or to go straight to the library or another workplace. It could be another room in your house. But if you work from home, you could go into another room, or even go one step further and to pack a bag and to go work like in some kind of co-working place or a library. That way you break free from the mental association you've made in your brain with your home environment, which is to relax and to have fun, to unwind. Now the next tip I would like to share with you is to treat your mornings as another day, a new day. So ideally the best thing that you can do is to go to sleep earlier to wake up earlier. For example, right now, even though I can work on my business all the time because I'm full-time on this, so now I don't have to worry about working a job job or these kinds of things, I still choose to get up at 5 a.m. because that's when I have the most amount of energy, willpower, and mental clarity. And I love just completing 1 hour and a half of deep work before I go to the gym. Then I come back home and I work some more. But for most people, the early morning, it's when you're going to be able to do your most productive work. So it's ideal if you can go to bed at like 8:30 to 9 p.m. and you can wake up at 5 a.m. because that gives you 2 to 3 hours per day extra before you begin your work to focus on your own projects. Now, if you really cannot get up earlier because of your work schedule or other obligations, what you can do instead is to use your evenings as another day. So treat your 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. as a completely different day, but you're a lot less likely to be interrupted in the early mornings as opposed to the late evenings. Now, to be able to do this in the most efficient way and the most productive way possible, you always want to plan your day ahead the night before. Never just wake up early and have no idea what to do because you haven't planned it in advance. Ideally, you should just wake up, get to work immediately, know exactly what you need to do. You can have a to-do list or directly block out time in your calendar. That way, it's all crystal clear and you're ready to go. So what I do in the morning, I wake up, I make myself some tea, I drink a protein shake if I'm going to go to the gym, and then I just open up my laptop and I start to work. So I'm not doing this crazy hour-long morning routine because it doesn't matter. Now, I quickly want to say that if you are an ambitious individual and you want to build a profitable business so you can be able to quit your 9-to-5 job and be financially free, travel anywhere in the world, pick your own hours, and make as much money as you want with no income ceiling, the best thing for you to do is to start a business. I've recorded a free video in which I'm going to share with you everything I do step by step to make upwards of $1,000 per day with my own consulting business. And I'm also going to reveal the only 3 activities you need to focus on doing if you're serious about making money. I will leave the link in the description below, or you can also directly apply to book a call with me or my team, and we'll see if we can help you to build your business. The next tip I'd like to share with you is to focus on taking care of yourself. At the end of the day, wealth without health is no fun. The goal isn't just to be wealthy. The goal isn't to die the richest man or woman of the graveyard because it's completely pointless. The goal is to build a life that you love, a life that makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning, because the worst thing that you can have in life is to wake up in the morning to force yourself to go to a job that you hate and your life is not fulfilling. You hate your life. Back when I was still in school, it was horrible for me because I hated school. I hated the nonsense of it, and I knew I would build a business, so I had no need for it. So every morning I'd wake up, I was so damn depressed. So I'm glad it's over. But it's only over because I put in the work and I made the necessary sacrifices. And in school, I had to do plenty of unpaid internships, so it really gave me a taste of what 9-to-5 jobs would be like. And I hated it. I knew I wasn't meant for it. And I know I could have become a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant, and maybe in my 40s at some point, when I've climbed the company ladder for decades, maybe I would have been able to make 6 figures per year. So I would have had the wealth aspect, but I wouldn't have the freedom that I wanted, the freedom to travel anytime, to live anywhere in the world, and to pick my own hours, to be my own boss, and to be in control of my life. And so as a child, my dream was always to be free. So when I discovered you could make money online with a laptop and a steady internet connection, back when I was only 11 years old, I thought, oh my god, I just found my calling in life. This is exactly what I need to do. So I pursued that path relentlessly until I got what I wanted, which was to make tens of thousands of dollars per month. So you want to really focus on taking care of your health with a consistent sleep schedule, an exercise routine, and also a diet plan. You don't have to be super rigid about it, because if you're too rigid, you'll most likely end up like falling for eating disorders, or you will lose motivation. So you always want to stay flexible, but always make it a priority to take care of yourself, to take care of your health, because more so than making more money, this should be number 1 on your list of priorities. Now, something else I'd like to share with you is to break down your big goals into smaller goals, milestones, because those serve as targets on your way to your big goal. So it makes it a lot more motivating, a lot more inspiring to keep putting in the work, because a lot of people, they misunderstand how motivation works. They think that in order to put in the work and to get results, they need to be motivated to get started. But the problem is, if you rely on your motivation to do the work, you will most likely only ever do the work a couple times per month at best. Like honestly, if you only went to the gym or worked out when you felt inspired to do it, you'd probably most likely never go, you know? And that's why by breaking down huge goals into smaller goals, it doesn't mean you forget about the big goal, but it helps you to stay focused on your journey to your big goal, and it makes the process a lot more enjoyable because you take the time to celebrate all of the small victories. So if you want to make $100,000 this year, the first milestone could be getting your first client. The other milestone could be making your first $5,000. The other milestone above that could be making your first $10,000 a month. And before you realize it, you'll reach your big goal, which is to make $100,000. Now look, it's time for you to make a choice. You're free to keep watching YouTube videos, but doing this will not help you to reach your goals and to make more money because you're not taking action. But if you are part of that minority of ambitious individuals who's committed to start your business so you can become financially free, I invite you to check out the free resources in the description below, or to directly apply to book a call with me or my team, and we'll see if we can help you to build your business. With that being said, if you found this video helpful, share it with a friend, and together, let's blow up this YouTube channel to empower more ambitious people to become financially free. And as a way to thank you, when we get to 100,000 subs, I will be giving away $10,000.